B-A-U-E Radio.
Woo! Woo! Hello, everybody. Hello. It is Monday, February 15th, 2010, and we have got quite a show tonight.
I've been so excited about this for the last couple of days.
How excited have you been?
Like a 10. I'm excited. I've been a fan of Big Kenny for a long time, and not only it started out, of course, his music, but just the person that he is and who he is to other people is pretty cool. I'm very excited to have him.
Well, I'm excited too because
I'm more excited. I'm like I told you, I was a 10.
Our guest tonight has so many adjectives before his name. I hope I can remember them all. So help me welcome singer, songwriter, universal ambassador of love, Renaissance pirate of the good way, an amazing humanitarian. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Kenny.
Hello, Bob.
I don't know why I insist on doing the applause, but I just feel like it makes it more legit.
I wasn't
I like
mustard.
it. I love it. I want some more of it, as Tim McGraw would say.
You probably wrote that.
Yeah, did you write that?
I wish I could take credit for that one, but the only number one hit I can take credit of his is Last Dollar, Fly Away.
That's just the one for Tim McGraw.
Yeah, just the one for Tim McGraw.
Not bad.
So, Kenny, how are you? I'm so thrilled and excited that you're here tonight and sharing this moment with us.
I'm doing good, Bob. It's cool to be here. I've never done an experience like this online, and I find it really cool. So I'm always excited to talk to the fans every way I can. I've been hearing a lot about your show, so I'm excited to be on it. And it's been a good day. It's been snowing here in Nashville, but it's been beautiful.
See, and that is such a weird concept for us because we are sitting here in L.A. I had to turn the air conditioner on because it's such a hot day here in L.A. So, Kenny, let's get into the meat of this. I want to actually let's go way back a little bit further. I want to talk about how you started out going to Darfur.
Wow.
And let me know. I want to hear because I know there's a lot of people who are new to you who are listening to the show. There's a lot of people who listen to my show tomorrow on iTunes. I think everybody sort of knows you as Big Kenny from Big and Rich, but I was fascinated to really go into the roots of this philanthropic side of you and this amazing story that you've had. And I want to start at the beginning with Darfur.
Okay, I'll think back a few years. Let's go back before it. 1994, I moved to Nashville. Took me a few years to get everything cranking pretty good, but about 2004, things blew up, and Big and Rich came together and had a career. In 2005, success is starting to come along, and with it comes a greater awareness. Mm-hmm. And one of the greater awarenesses that came to me, I've always been a reader of National Geographic, and I've always been someone who was taught to keep up with their times and to be a steward of life and to try to always give back. Well, I started being made aware of the atrocities that were going on in the Sudan. The Sudanese people had just written a peace agreement between the North and the South, and it was about that time that a friend of mine, who was an ex-Marine by the name of Brian Steidel, had taken on a job with the State Department to go in and be an observer of the peace accords. Well, he hadn't been over there for a month when he uncovered that the peace accords weren't really happening as they were supposed to, and that the government of Sudan were going into villages now. Instead of pushing south, they were pushing westward in the country, and it was pretty much rape and pillage in these agrarian villages, these farming communities of the Sudan. And what he showed me here in Nashville one day as we were having lunch together were pictures that just, I don't know how to describe them any other way than it was just atrocious atrocities. These were entire communities that he would come up on in UN helicopters. They had been held off for a period of time. Let's say the government of Sudan would say, we don't have any fuel, so you can't get out of this airport. And they'd finally get some fuel and get back in the air again, and they'd see that another village has been burned and it was smoking. And then the pictures got even worse, and that is, it was pictures of young girls who had been bound together like slaves. There's just no other way to describe them. They had been raped and burned alive. Pictures of children that had had their heads snapped, dropped to the bottom of trees. I don't know any other way to tell people other than to just be honest about it.
And I just want to say really quickly, I think it's a very important, and that's why I wanted to even start there. I just heard a couple days ago an interview with Mia Farrow, who was talking about all of this and talked about how when a lot of this was really started was America, and this is to me a sad comment, but all of our news coverage was focused on the O.J. Simpson trial, and a lot of this stuff got washed under the rug, and it never really got the coverage that it should have gotten, and this stuff just went on and on for years. I mean, but I'm honored that you're sharing this because I think it's, a message that or a story that should be told.
Well, these were pictures that it seemed like nobody wanted to see, and nobody that could, was of the importance that could bring greater awareness to it, like our government or anything like that. They were pretty much trying to keep this from getting out into the mass media, or maybe the pictures were just so ugly the mass media didn't want to show them. But in my mind, once I'd seen them, I had to do something. I couldn't live with myself now finally having some success in my life and not try to do something with it. I couldn't look at these children. I mean, in 2005, I got married. I had a child that year, and, I had a little baby now, and I'm thinking, well, I can't imagine if this was happening to my child. I would hope somebody would come and do something.
I'm curious. I love that you talk about how when you see these photos, you immediately say, how can you not help? But I think there's a lot of people who when they see these photos or they're exposed to this, a lot of people actually sort of shut down. They don't know how to help. And I'm curious, the fact that you actually put your money where your mouth is, that you didn't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. What is that moment inside of you that allows you to say, you know what, this is a terrible thing that's happening. I'm just going to go do this. I mean, I know that might sound like a simple question, but I think a lot of people do not have that mechanism inside of them, and I'm curious to hear from you what that is.
I don't know what it is, Bob. When I was a kid, I was about 6 years old. I can remember being out on the farm, and my dad was he was climbing. We were filling silos. Silos are big tower that might stand 50 feet up, 60 feet, 80 feet, 100 feet up in the air, and it holds corn silage to feed cattle during the winter months. And my dad, we'd be filling the silos. I see my dad, he'd scurry up the outside of the silo. It'd be 50 feet up in the air, and he'd grab this piece of pipe and a stave silo. It's got about a 4-inch ledge that you walk on, and he would step from one ledge to another silo that was about 4 feet from this one. So he's 50 feet up in the air, stepping from a 4-foot ledge to another 4-foot ledge. And then he moved the pipe over to the empty silo to fill it. And he'd chain it to the silo, and then he'd scurry back down. And I can remember being a little kid standing there looking at him in awe, going, Daddy, how did you do that? And he said, son, you just have to have faith. And I guess it's,
well, that's a really good answer to that, because the thing is, like, he didn't say you have to have faith. Yeah, he didn't just say it. He did it. He's like, you have to have faith. Look, this is it. And I think that's what Bob was saying, is that a lot of people, they do actually want to help. But, they are like, well, I'd like to help. And then they go do other stuff. But you actually, like Bob said, put your feet on the ground and did it. And I know we're going to get to it, but as quickly as you responded and actually went to Haiti, which I'm pretty sure you're not really supposed to do that quickly, but you did it. And so, I mean, that's the kind of thing, is that I guess your dad, what you're saying, he showed you instead of told you.
That's right.